Welcome to the Selling from the Heart podcast on the From the Heart Business Network. You've joined a global movement of sales professionals who are dedicated to being authentic and building trust. We call it Selling from the Heart. Together, we're on a mission to bring sincerity and substance to the sales profession we all love. Get ready to be inspired and equipped as we join our hosts, Larry Levine and Darrell Amy.
Hiring salespeople based on a resume or a great interview is like drafting players based on their Instagram highlights. They look amazing in the clips. That's until the real game starts.
Exactly. Every CEO's been there. The interviews go great. You think you're bringing a top performer onto your team, but once they hit the field, they can't close, won't prospect, and blame the leads.
That's exactly why we recommend Sales Index Unlimited Candidate Assessments. It's your sales recruiting engine that screens every candidate against 21 proven sales competencies, benchmarked against 2.5 million sales professionals worldwide. That is more than a personality profile. You'll know with confidence who can sell and who will actually do the work.
Because the best teams don't just fill positions, they build a bench. They're always scouting for great players who can perform under pressure.
For just $2.99 a month, you can build your own bench of ready-to-sell talent, coachable, driven, and proven before they ever get the jersey.
So stop guessing, start scouting like a pro.
Go to unlimited.salesindex.ai. That's unlimited.salesindex.ai and start building your next sales all-star team today. Hello and welcome back to the Selling from the Heart podcast. Your co-host, Darrell Amy, here today with Larry Levine. What's going on, Larry?
Oh, all kinds of stuff. I am so excited about this conversation we're going to have today, Mr. Darrell Amy.
If you have any impossible relationships that need to be restored, and who doesn't, especially if you're in sales, you're going to love our guest, Greg Stevens, today. This is so much fun. Welcome to the show. If you're new, we're so glad you're here. And Selling from the Heart has a global community of sales professionals across all different industries, in all different tenures. And it's just so much fun connecting with our audience. And I love the way we give a shout out every week to one of our friends. So who's it this week, Larry?
Oh, you know who this person's going to be. It's Mr. Andy Holt. Andy, I love you. This guy waves the flag around Selling from the Heart. You know that, Darrell. I just want to say, Andy, I'm grateful that you're in our community.
Yeah, I agree 100%. If you're not connected, by the way, reach out to Larry, reach out to me. We would love to connect with you. Usually on LinkedIn's the best place to find us. And we're all here rowing in the same direction, working together. And one of the areas where we're all rowing is in the area of relationship building. And today's guest understands something that's at the heart of every great relationship, inside and outside of sales: communication. Communication has the power to heal, restore, and transform. Our guest, Greg Stevens, is the president of Alignment Resources and a respected communication consultant, executive coach, and corporate trainer. With more than 25 years of experience across industries like sports, technology, healthcare, and government, Greg has spent his career helping leaders and teams communicate with clarity, empathy, and courage, especially when the stakes are high. Greg's insights come to life in his powerful new book, The Art of Restoring Impossible Relationships. This is your guide to reconnecting when connection feels out of touch. And he's here with us today in the studio. Greg, welcome to Selling from the Heart. It's great to have you here.
Thank you, Darrell. Thank you, Larry. It's a real honor to be here. Thank you.
Oh, it's our pleasure. Look forward to this one, Greg.
Yeah,
absolutely. And as we get started, Greg, you know the question every guest on the Selling from the Heart podcast answers, and that is, what does it mean to you, Greg, to sell from the heart?
It means for me, it's about connection. When I connect with people, I'm serving them. And when I can serve them, I'm fulfilling a need they have. I heard it said a long time ago, everyone wants to buy, no one wants to be sold. Now, I think that comes down, it's really about relationships. And like you said, coming from that heart, there's a difference there. If I don't have your best in mind, it's going to come across in a way where I'm trying to get something for me.
Mm-hmm.
But if I'm there to serve you, we both benefit from what's going on.
Mm-hmm. Hey, Greg, great response. Thank you. And there, it's interesting because it's hard to build relationship without connection.
Yeah.
And we have to build a meaningful connection in order to build a meaningful relationship.
Yeah. And connection just doesn't happen. You have to take interest. That's one of the things I found over and over. If you want connection, you have to share yourself, open yourself up. People say, they talk about intimacy. I had a coach one time, he said, into me, see. You want deeper relationships, share a piece of yourself first, pave the way, share something about yourself that it requires some level of trust. And when you can do that, you open the door for others to open theirs. I met a gentleman last night. It was my one of my good friends, his stepson. And we sat down and just started talking, and we opened up, both of us, very naturally. He was a natural giver. And we got in one of the best conversations I've had in months last night with a young guy about 30 years old. And it was just amazing, the connection that we had at the end of the evening.
I love it. And that sounds fantastic until you get into an impossible relationship. And I think for all of us in sales, and that's all three of us on this podcast today, and all of our audience, we all have relationships in our sales world that just feel impossible, that you just want to bang your head against the wall. And sometimes you see that caller ID pop up on your phone and you just kind of go, oh, impossible relationships. I'm so glad you're here. Greg, help us out. What do we do when we encounter an impossible relationship?
Well, first you have to understand it's not impossible. That's something we just told ourselves. It's a lie. And when we start to understand it's a limiting belief, the problem why it seems impossible is that we have a past history with this person that didn't go well. And we probably had some level of explosive emotion, whether it's you lashing out or shutting down, same type of thing. It's all emotional. And what I would suggest many times when they're impossible, neither party had the skills to have the conversation effectively. When you have the skills, you can do different things. But to lay it out, first and foremost, people have to have psychological safety in the conversation. And there's just two keys to that: mutual purpose and mutual respect. It has to be, I know you care about and respect me, and you care about my goals as well. When that is in place, both parties can really open up and talk. But when either one of those or both are missing, you're going to get resistance. And it is impossible at that moment because people aren't listening. We're defending. We're looking for a need to be right or dominate the other person. When those things happen, there's not a real dialogue happening.
You know what, Greg? I am so glad you brought up these self-limiting beliefs, because things that have happened to us in the past, a bad conversation, a bad relationship, rears its ugly head later on. Why is overcoming self-limiting beliefs so important in building and nurturing and growing these impossible relationships?
Well, it's interesting because it's a self-limiting belief. This is the only thing I have the ability to control. If I'm in a cell, I can't control the other person. But when I control myself, my limiting beliefs, my behavior, I can influence the other person, but I do not have influence if I can't manage this. And we spend so much time complaining about the client or the situation or the economy. I can't do anything about that. When I work on this, it gives me something different to do, but it all starts in your mind and what you believe you can and can't do. What do you have a positive attitude about what's going to happen, that things are going to fall into place the way they need to? Or are you doubting that? And there's a level of hope that has to come with that. Now, I think that hope is important because it's the energy that has us go out and do things.
Mm-hmm. So I know in my sales career, and I'm actually seeing faces, and I'm sure other people that are listening in are, thinking of impossible relationships they've had, really challenging ones, maybe accounts they've inherited, or I'm thinking of, somebody that was like, this is your account. And it was just really, it was tough. And I don't know that there was mutual respect, or in the sales, it felt like it was actually opposite sides of the table, and we weren't having the same purpose. Everyone was, trying to win at this. And even if I showed up in that heart, trying to respect the other person and have a win-win kind of attitude, I didn't feel like that was happening from the other side. So what do you do? I'm just throw you on the spot with the tough question. Like, what do you do in a sales situation like that, where you're tasked with an account that you just are having a hard time with?
Well, I'm going to suggest go back to the foundation. And most of us haven't built the foundation. That's why we've got the problem in the first place. And the foundation is, and it's a weird conversation to have because people don't talk about it, but sitting down with your client and say, you know what? I haven't done this before. Let's talk about how we want our relationship to work. Okay, let's talk about first what respect looks like, because I want to treat you with respect from how you define it, not how I define it. So I need to hear it. Now, people say, oh, we assume that. You have no idea. It's interesting when people begin to talk about respect, it's awkward at first because we don't do it. But when you do it, something magically starts to open up because I've stated it, you've heard it, and then we get to go back and forth about what that looks like. Once that conversation is done, now how do we want to put agreements in? How are we going to communicate? For instance, let's set up some boundaries. Okay, I'm going to be your client and I don't want to fill your inbox with unnecessary emails. I don't want to chase you. I don't want to do this. How can we do this in a way that works for both of us? Let's set some agreements right now. Then when you set the agreements, the next piece is, okay, now we've set these agreements. What do we do if either one of us breaks this agreement? How do we approach each other at that moment? Now, this takes a little time on the front end. It's going to save you a lot of time on the back end because typically we go and we're getting ghosted or we're trying to follow up or that person's trying to get a hold of us and it's not happening. And it creates all kinds of turmoil in the relationship because in the absence of information, we make it up. And so we make up the worst story we can, and then we live into that reality. And when we do that, our relationships goes into these downward spirals. There's no need for that. If you begin to do that, you're still going to have problems, but you need to have that foundation. That's typically what I found is when we don't have the foundation, it's like trying to hold someone accountable later. It's tough if you don't have the foundation. It's like you're standing on quicksand. But if I have the conversation up front, when that happens, I have solid ground to say, hey, these were our agreements. This is what you said. This is how you wanted me to approach you.
Okay. This is good stuff. So now this is throwing Greg Stevens on the spot 2.0. So I was listening to what you're saying. And I'm like going, oh, this is so good to lay out in the front end of a meeting, in 30 seconds. So Greg, if you're having a meeting with Darrell, by the way, I love this framework. Yeah. Roll it out in just conversational tone, how you would get agreement with Darrell on what you just said, because you laid out a great framework. But if you can give the 30-second confident, this is how Greg's going to roll this out to Darrell, that'd be huge.
All right. I'm going to assume the position.
Okay. It's great. That's perfect. It's perfect.
Hey, that's why you all need to watch. Right?
Exactly. Yeah. So, Darrell, one of the things I like to do with all my potential clients is set up agreements ahead of time and talk about what respect looks like to you. Because I find on the back end when things go wrong, it's because we haven't done this foundational conversation. And I want a relationship to work out if we're going to work together. Would it be okay if we spent 2 minutes talking about respect and setting a couple of agreements of things I found go south with clients that I don't want to do with you? Would that be okay?
Absolutely.
Okay. Well, first, I'd like to know how you define respect. And many people don't. So here's how I define it so you can get an idea. My idea of respect is give me the benefit of the doubt. And if I don't deserve that, pull me aside and let me know why. Coach me to my blind spot, because it's never my intent to be disrespectful. And I know I'm being disrespected. For me, when people ghost me or they don't follow up or they don't do what they say, it feels a little off. And I want to be able to talk about those things. So how do you define respect, Darrell?
That's a great question, Greg. I would say for me would be respect my time. In the role I'm in right now, I am pulled in a lot of different directions. So if I ever seem short, it's because I've got a lot of things going on. And then respect. If I hit the pause button, it is so frustrating to me when salespeople keep pushing and pushing and pushing. It doesn't mean no. But so that's how I might respond, Greg.
Okay. So let me make sure I heard you right. So you don't want me to waste your time and you want me to respect when you put a pause on something that we're doing. Is that correct?
Yeah. That'd be so helpful.
Now, if I don't do that, will you please let me know? Because It's never my intention. I might have forgotten. I might do something inadvertently. Maybe I do something you interpret a way I never intended. Would you just let me know immediately? Because I don't want to be going around telling bad stories. Would that be okay?
Absolutely.
Great. Now let's set some agreements in place of things I've seen that haven't worked and things that you've seen. So what are some things you've seen haven't worked with some of the people calling on you?
Well, I mentioned one already, which is just, the persistent follow-up when it's just a pause. And I just, we're actually laughing about this earlier today in a meeting, but just like the circle back, just if you've got something to reach out to me, please do. And just please tell me what it is. And, that would really, really help me out.
And how do you best like to be communicated with? Is it through your assistant? Is it on text? What's the best way for me to do that with you?
Okay, don't wear it out, but it's text message.
Text. Okay, I promise I won't. And I will use it only when I need to. Otherwise, I'll engage with your assistant. Is that
awesome?
Something you can agree to? Something I would also like is if I do reach out and it doesn't work for you, just say, not now. That's all you need to do. Because I get that. Thanks for the response. I know you're busy. I don't want to intrude on that. Or if you know a better time for me to do that, I'd like to do that. And we might set some agreements up for later if we find things aren't working. Would that be okay?
Sounds good.
Great. So that's kind of the foundation. But I find so often we don't even have that quick conversation. And all of a sudden down the line, you don't get back with me. I'm busy with something else. I don't get back with you. All of a sudden we get in that downward spiral and we're trying to do our best.
Folks, that's what you get here at Selling from the Heart podcast. Greg Stevens, Darrell Amy, that was wonderful.
Oh, that's right. There we go. That really was wonderful. And I think how many times I just now I'm sitting here going, have I ever asked anybody how they define respect? Yet I get so frustrated when I'm not respected. In fact, there might not be anything that frustrates me more than that in some ways.
Well, it's interesting because I had a managing partner at a large law firm in Dallas as one of my clients. And just this concept about having a conversation with respect, what respect looks like to the people who reported just to him. And a couple of the partners, he said just having the conversation within 3 weeks actually lowered probably the drama in that law firm by 40%, because when he did that, people started saying, well, this is what the managing partner did. And they start talking about respect through the whole, and things start to shift. Now, did it solve all the problems? No, but 40% without even trying is pretty amazing.
It's big. That's big.
Yeah. And there's something powerful when someone gets to say, oh, I defined respect to this person. They know, they've listened to me about what that is.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, you know what's interesting about this? I'm just thinking about the back end of this, Greg, is if you set this up as you just set this up, I have a sneaky suspicion things become a little bit more fluid in your next couple conversations.
Oh, yeah.
Something tells me, not only that, you've been benchmarked, and all of a sudden they're going to go, what the heck just happened?
Right.
What?
No one's ever had it with them. You are remembered.
Exactly. You're remembering.
But you're remembered in a positive way.
Yeah.
And you've gotten the gold because That's what most people are trying to figure out. And I've actually got the answer right there. And we're already at a level of talking about deeper things.
Yes.
And that's kind of one of my gifts, is creating an environment where people can really open up. Well, how did that happen? That happened because I grew up moving from town to town, understood how to gain people's confidence, but not as a way to manipulate them, but as a way to connect with them. Some people can use the skill to harm people. Others can use it to heal people.
Beautiful. Art of restoring impossible relationships. I love what you've just taught us here. I think that's something we're always going to remember. And by the way, just a little bit more on the respect side of this. Like, we talk a lot about trust here at Selling from the Heart. Obviously, Larry's book, Selling in a Post-Trust World, trust is important. But if you think about what you need to actually move a deal forward and sustain a relationship with a customer where there are going to be problems, respect is so critical. And I even just think about, Greg, that, if you looked as a sales professional at the number of customers or clients, whatever you call them, that bought from you more than once versus the ones that didn't, and correlated that somehow with, did I earn their trust, but also did I earn their respect? I think that I don't even know if you need to do the math on that, because I think we all know instinctively what the answer would be there.
Oh yeah. When you have these levels of conversations, I have clients that they love me for life. And the other thing is I also give a lot of myself. When I have a client who gives me trust, I give them a lot in return. I'm not trying to, people say, I'll give you this for free. Well, you don't need to do that. No, I want to. And don't give your service away. I do what I do. I wish I could do it for free, because I love helping people. And that's one of the things, I always have value in what I'm giving people, and I want to give more than I get. That's just me. My coach taught me, get yours in the giving, and you will be blessed in that way.
Oh, wow. Hey, I just got to ask, I want to zero in on the title of your book just for a moment. You got to give us the whole backstory on this, because something tells me that you had a situation in your past that caused you to come up with this wonderful title and bring your great book to the forefront.
Well, I never thought about doing a book, and I never thought about being a coach or doing what I'm doing. My career found me, but as I started teaching, I used to teach Crucial Conversations, best training out there for communication, great training. And I actually take people today and actually teach them how to apply it. That's what I did with their material. And as I taught, I thought, I want to be the person that practices what they teach. So I thought, how can I prove to my participants that I'm doing this? So I had a crazy idea to go clean up all my past relationships in my life. And I had 36 people on my list, and it took me 2.5 years. And some of those were one and done. Others, one person I had to go back to 7 different times. So there's no perfection in what we talk about, but it gave me the skills to practice it. I was practicing over and over and over. And it showed me that, wow, it's amazing what can happen when you clean your life up. And I walked through some of those, and I thought to walk through my most difficult one was my very last one. It was my father. And it's an amazing story. And it was it was the hardest conversation I've ever had to have. And many times they don't end the way you think they should, but there's also something about showing up strong, even if you don't get the result you want, because you could never control another person. You can only control yourself. But if you control yourself in those crucial moments, those high stakes conversations, and you do your best, when you walk away, the person is left with their behavior, not yours. Because they can't point the finger if I show up as respectful, I do this, that, no matter what happens to that conversation, they're going to know that they respected, I cared about them. And when that has some lasting pieces, I've seen over and over many times, it doesn't happen in that moment. It's later, maybe 2 or 3 weeks later, sometimes I'll get a call, hey, I didn't like how that went. And then they're open to talking about it at that point. And who knows when people are. But again, it's understanding that person has the right to feel or think whatever they do. My job is to be responsible for me, how I show up. You're talking, Larry, about someone who gets tough, they're handed down a tough assignment or a difficult client. Well, you know what? I've got a mantra that I live my life by. Everything in my life I create, promote, or allow. So when I get that client that no one wants and it's been given to me, you know what? I allowed that to happen because I'm taking this job. That's what comes with it. This is my opportunity to grow and see how I can possibly influence someone that no one else has been able to. I remember when I first was a pharmaceutical rep years ago, I got a territory for 10 years, was behind everyone. And I was supposed to get the really nice territory. In the last second, they gave me the bad one. And I got excited because I thought, here's my opportunity. I can only go up. And within 9 months, I had blown everyone away because I brought it back up where it needed to go. And I had doctors that said, I want that other rep in here. I don't want you. And I thought, how do I find the key to do this? It's a problem to solve. And I did it. And before you knew it, they were my biggest proponents, writers at that time. And I just found a way to negotiate and be respectful through the process and make sure I took care of everyone along the way.
Wow. So good. Cool. Well, Greg, I know the question everyone listening in is asking themselves, and that is, how do I get more Greg Stevens in my life? Of course, they've already gone to their favorite bookstore and purchased The Art of Restoring Impossible Relationships. And if you haven't, the link's in the show notes. But how else can people get more Greg Stevens in their life?
Yeah, well, thank you so much, Darrell and Larry. I appreciate the opportunity. All you need to do is go to alignment-resources.com. Don't forget the dash between them. alignment-resources.com. We have our book there. We have our master team programs. We're also starting in January, and we're doing some things the next couple of months where we're doing emerging leaders, a master team, where we're taking young leaders from 21 to 28 years old, and we're teaching them the skills that current executives have problems with. And we felt like, let's get them a head start. So we're doing a program for emerging leaders. So You can see all of our information there.
Very good.
This was a great conversation.
This was good. Man, I thought it was going to be impossible, but I feel better about it.
You guys figured it out. We even squeezed role playing in here. That was wonderful.
Awesome. Greg, thank you so much for joining us today. This has been amazing. What a good time. And that role play, just thinking about, have you ever asked somebody what respect means to them? What a phenomenal question in a sales context or in a leadership context or in any context.
No, absolutely. And this is our challenge. Everyone who's watching or listening to this, who's got the Debbie Dowder syndrome going on right now, going, I don't know if I could pull this off. Do it. Right? Just make it happen, because all the issues of ghosting and all that stuff.
What have you got to lose?
Nothing. You got everything to gain on this.
Absolutely. Well, hey, thank you for tuning in this week. We are so excited about all that's to come. It's going to be the new year soon. Hope you're having a phenomenal holiday season if you're listening when this releases. And we're cheering you on as you finish the year strong, and so grateful for everybody in this audience, especially for those who are helping us spread the word by leaving a review and sharing this with your friends. We've got great things coming up, so stay tuned. Until next time, keep being genuine, keep being authentic, keep building trust, discover the art of restoring impossible relationships, and most of all,
sell from the heart.